Research suggests that dogs are beneficial to human health. According to one research, adults over 65 who own dogs see the doctor 30% less frequently than those who don't. Dogs have also been demonstrated to lessen anxiety, PTSD symptoms, and sadness. Another study discovered that the feel-good hormone was increased in both humans and dogs just by staring into each other's eyes. When production was industrialized, baking was automated by machines in large factories. The art of baking remains a fundamental skill and is important for nutrition, as baked goods, especially breads, are a common and important food, both from an economic and cultural point of view. A person who prepares baked goods as a profession is called a baker.
In the past, naming English as a separate subject seemed relatively easy. The textbook selected and graded items of language which were put into content and then practiced intensively. New items were carefully controlled so that the student could cope quite easily. Now that English is used as a medium of instruction, however, all this has changed.
Artificial intelligence, also machine intelligence, is intelligence displayed by machines, in contrast with the natural intelligence displayed by humans and other animals. In computer science, AL research is defined as the study of intelligent agents, any device that perceives its environment and takes actions that maximize its chance of success at some goal.
Researchers have tried successfully to use blood. But in this study, the scientists used immune cells called T cells recognize invaders through receptors that match molecules on bacteria, viruses, even tumors. The cellular activity that produces these receptors also produces a type of circular DNA molecule as a byproduct.
A behavioral change can be a temporary or permanent effect that is considered a change in an individual's behavior when compared to previous behavior. It is often considered a mental disorder. This change is generally characterized by abnormal thinking, interpretations, emotions, or changing relationships. Medications can cause this change as a side effect.
change is inevitable in any sphere of life. Although the results of change can bring great benefits, the process of change can be intensely traumatic, involve loss of choice, power and status, and when change happens in the workplace, it can even lead to loss of jobs. Many businesses and organizations use a model called the change curve to understand and manage how people react to change.
Temperate regions have the majority of the world's population, which leads to large cities. There are a couple factors why the climate of large city landscapes differs from the climate of rural areas. One factor is the strength of the absorption rate of builds and asphalt, which is higher than natural land.
In the past, naming English as a separate subject seemed relatively easy. The textbook selected and graded items of language which were put into content and then practiced intensively. New items were carefully controlled so that the student could cope quite easily. Now that English is used as a medium of instruction, however, all this has changed.
The world's coastlines are constantly being reshaped and reworked by the sea. Coastal erosion is one of the natural phenomena that contribute to the creation and destruction of our shores and one of the main processes that form beaches, dunes, mud flats, reefs and marshes along the coast. These different shoreline features provide a refuge and also render habitats for the wildlife.
The elaborate and refined Japanese tea ceremony is meant to demonstrate respect through grace and good etiquette as demonstrated here by Gunshot's Senior 15th Grand Master of the Uraseng Tea School.
Unlike the other pieces, pawns cannot move backwards. Normally a pawn moves by advancing a single square, but the first time a pawn is moved, it has the option of advancing 2 squares. Pawns may not use the initial 2-square advance to jump over an occupied square, or to capture.
The student's reading in his own subject slows down, and his comprehension becomes less secure. He expresses himself slowly and often fails to convey his ideas exactly. He is disappointed to find that under pressure he makes a lot of unnecessary mistakes in areas where he knows the correct language forms.
His social relations are difficult as he cannot find the right phrase quickly enough to keep a conversation going, so his language often betrays him into dullness, coldness, or worst of all, rudeness. Instead of the students being in control of the language seems now to be in control of the students.
Birds have a variety of methods by which they are able to find their way across the flyways, year in and year out. It seems that birds employ different geopositioning strategies according to the conditions encountered during migration. They seem able to use the position of the sun and stars, the Earth's magnetic field, smells and even landmarks to find their way.
A gas balloon is a balloon that flies in the air because it is filled with a gas less dense than air or lighter than air, such as helium or hydrogen. It is tied to a thread to prevent it from flying up in the air. It is also sealed at the bottom to ensure that the gas doesn't escape.
A master of water management, the baobab tree can hold up to 120,000 liters of water in its trunk, which is incredibly useful for animals and humans in times of drought. Both are able to pierce the tree to access the water, and this is probably why many trees can be found along trade routes in Africa. The trunk is not a single structure but is composed of many stems fused together.
A destination resort is a resort that itself contains the necessary guest attraction capabilities, so it does not need to be near a destination to attract its patrons. A commercial establishment at a resort destination, such as a recreational area or other tourist attraction, may compete with other businesses at a destination.